Hi everyone, my name's Electric Donkey, and today we're back doing another episode on the No Man's Sky type project thing we've got going. So in the last video, if you remember, we did some more saving and loading sort of work. So we made a unique accessor code for each individual planet, which will mean that now we can use that within our saving and loading to make sure it all works perfectly. So, first off, you may or may not notice the sound quality may be slightly better because I've moved the laptop further away, so you won't get the humming noise as much. It might still be there a little bit. By Christmas time, it'll be completely gone. Also, the screen quality may look also slightly better because I've got a new monitor. But anyway, back into the code. So, if you remember in the last video, we had object thing, we had left button, and we had beam down to the planet. So here we set this this little bit here. Now, I've had a look, and the problem with this is we're going to need some way of making sure we know which one we're on. So, we're going to make a little variable in the create event, and this is going to be current planet. It's going to equal 0. I would also like to apologise if my typing's a little bit slower than normal. I've got a new keyboard and it may sound a little bit different as well. So here we're going to say current planet equals, oh, actually we need to move this underneath it. Equals planets. This is going to be 0i. There we go. So this will keep track of which planet we are currently on and what its accessor is. So now we can go into our world gen. I'll create event, create the planet, we'll full screen this, and we scroll right down to the bottom where we save it. Okay, so I believe it was here that we save it. Script save world. Did we save it here? Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, we obviously did. Right. So we had script save world, object world gen.planet, and this will save it into this thing here. So what we want to do is we want to change that to current. Whoops, we didn't want to do that. This is keyboard, I tell you. Current planet plus dot ini. Okie dokie, and that needs to be a string as well. We need to put that in string thing. I don't know if that'll flag it up or not. So what this will do is it will take our unique accessor code and it will save it as that document dot ini. Now this comes the handy bit, because now if we run it, we'll just check we've got no errors. But if we don't have any errors, then we can go into the loading. So this will now save it with our unique accessor. But now we want to see if we can load it back up with our unique accessor. And hopefully this will work. I've got a plan in my mind as how it's going to work. Oh dear, right. It expects 3 functions, 1 given. 2 given, actually. So we want the text to save in, the file name, and then the section. Alright, we must have just missed something out there. So create the planet. If we scroll right down to the bottom, we need something in the end here. So we'll just say the section is 0. Oh, I've done it again. It's not something that's really significant. The thing, I guess you could have different versions of the world. So if you've gone down, change something, gone back up, you could save both the versions, but then that would get a bit big. We'd get big files then. So if we go here, oh, we do have an issue actually. Current planet not set before reading it. Okay. Object world gen. Current planet. So this is being set here, so technically that should be immediately changed. Let's have a look. Planets. This should be right in here. So current. Have I done a little typo? What did I put here? Yep, I did put current planet. That does say current planet there. And technically technically, and that should be there before the other. So object world gen. I know what we need to do. Go back into your object world gen and the create event and scroll right down to the bottom. This does actually need to be object planets dot current planets. Okay, now that should work error free. If it runs error free, then we can go into loading, and that's kind of the interesting bit, and the bit that hopefully we can finally finish this off, as it's been a very long set of videos for this saving and loading, but it's kind of a unique saving and loading mechanism. So is it going to work? Is it going to work? Go! Right, we've still had another problem. Unable to find any instance for the object. Right, so the problem is we can't do that. So let's just change that to global. Problem being, the object planets isn't in the other room, so when we change over to that room, it doesn't work. Okay, is there any more in here then? So if we go down to the left click, this also needs to be changed to global. That, and we'll just copy that. So now if we go back into the object world gen, the create event, scroll right down to the bottom again, and instead of saying object planets, we'll just change that to global. Problem is, the object planets isn't actually in the it isn't in the room that we've currently got it in. So the ordering comes up a little bit funny, and you know, that's how it all works out. So anyway, let's just try this now. Yeah, we have no errors. Oh, apart from that, that's a little bit dodgy. I wonder what's going on there. Right, let's try and sort that out quickly. So if we go into the world gen, yeah, it'll be the world gen. Create event. Is it? I have no clue actually why that would affect it. Let's try get the saving and loading working first, and then we can go from there basically. So back into the planets, it beam down to the planet. We want to do a little check here. So we want to say, actually, is it there? Or actually, we'll do else. No, that's another language. We want else if. Oh, I've done it again. And then we want to do the string x string y, and we want to equals and planets 0 I. So what this is checking is to see if we've already saved one in that same slot for the unique accessor. So in that unique accessor code, if we've already saved one there, then we want to load that one up. So then what we do is something a little bit different. So we want to actually load it up. And to do that, we're going to do script. Do we have read world? Script read world. Does this actually work? DS grid read. Oh, object world gen dot grid. Yeah, it does actually. It saves it into that slot. So quickly here, let's take in a couple more variables. So we want file name and section, and we want var sec equals arguments 1. Alright, let's full screen this quickly. So we want to write instead, we want to write in the fn, and this is the section, so we want sec. Alright, now let's read that. So we want to be the planets. Oh, hang on, wrong one. 0 I. So what this will do is it will read up that slot, and we want to put that in a string as well. So the one we've already saved that thing in, and we should have a file for that as well, and the section is going to be 0. Okay, now the problem with that is that saves it into a handy little grid, but we can't actually do anything with that grid. There's no real way of using it. So in the world gen now, we need to actually change this up a bit. So when it says draw the planet in using the grid, we need to put a little if statement in here. So what are we going to do? We're going to say if object world gen dot grid. We're actually in world gen, so we don't need to do this. Grid, and we need to see what we actually set it to originally. Does not equal. Okay, we need to see if it's not empty. So we'll just say 0 0 does not equal 0. And actually what we need to do for this is change we want to change this to -1. So the first slot 0 0 cannot possibly be empty if there is something saved into it. So we change the DS grid clear, we want to change that to -1. Alright. Now we've set it here, so we're saying if it does actually equal -1. So if it's so what we're saying is we're going to have to put something in the else statement to actually say if it's not empty, then we want to load that world in. So then we're going to say we're going to do exactly this. So we want to copy and paste. Oops. We want to copy, not undo, and paste this. But instead, this time we're going to change this to grid, and this to grid. Alright, but exactly after that, after we've done the very last iteration of that, we want to set grid. We want to actually do ds grid clear grid -1, and that will revert it right back to exactly how it was at the start, ready for a new loading in. So guys, fingers crossed this should work. Now the way we're going to test this is we're going to go into one of the worlds, come back out, go back in and see if it's the same. If it is the same, then we're going to go back out into another world, back out into the original one. Alright, so this one first. So we've got little lumps, down, lumps, right. And that looks different to me. Yep, that is definitely different. Right, so what on earth is going wrong there then? Now let's have a look. So, in the planets, when our left button pressed, we are going to say if planets not I equals 0, else if. Well, if the first one equals 0, it will automatically save into the first one. So else if string x plus string y equals planets 0i, script read world string planets. I know what we need to do. We need to put plus dot ini. Very, very important. Right, now that should work. Basically, the plus dot ini is the ending of it. This video is dragging on a little bit, but I'll try and wrap it up as quick as possible. I really want to get this done though. That's the problem. I don't want to hang around on this any more than I have to, really. So that's lump, lump, lump. No, again, that is different. That's definitely different. Now that is weird. Let's go and have a look quickly in our files and see whether it's saving right or not. So users, and it will be under app data, I believe. Local, and it's under one man's lie, of course. One man's lie. There we go. It is there. Edit with notepad. So yeah, it's definitely saving it. It's definitely saving it. You can see there it's saved it. So that means somewhere in the loading it's going very wrong. So that means if we go beam down to the planet, it's this bit that's going wrong. Let's do a show debug message. Actually, I don't think that bit's going wrong. I think that bit's completely fine. I think it's something in here, if I'm perfectly honest. So fn is that. So ds grid read, and this is going to read it to the ds. That's that grid. Ini open fn. Ini read string. Section. Section. Hang on a minute, that's a bit weird. Let's see what our section is actually here. Our section here is 0. That will be the issue. So that is also going to be sec. Right. That was a very slight minor issue we had there. But obviously somewhere we've gone a little bit wrong with the saving order, but we can always sort that out in the future. I would really like just to get this working as cheap as it may be, you know, as poorly optimized sort of bit as it might be. So we've got a little downhill spiral, but no, that's not right at all. But it's still there. It's still saved into there. So that's what's really starting to worry me, is what's going wrong. World. So hang on a moment. Hang on. Let's read that one again. Did we put that under? Yes. So when we've gone to save to read it, what are we actually doing? Beam down to the planet, read world. Nope, that is fine. After this, we're going to say show debug message object world gen dot grid. We're going to see if it's actually, if it is loading it into that grid and the problem is with the other thing, or if it's not loading into that grid. And that would basically just give us a half point, so we know if it's either one half or the other half of the code that's going wrong. This is going really quite long, but I don't want to end it. And don't worry guys, the battery isn't going to run out this time. So that's a relatively flat one. Hang on a minute. Nope, that wasn't right. But have we got a debug message? Did it come up at all then? No, so it never actually got to the point where it was reading it. That's even further back than I thought it would be. So let's go back into the planets and left the button. So somewhere in here within this if is going wrong, because it's hitting that show debug but not this show debug. So if planets so let's say we're on iteration 1. If planets 0 0 equals 0, then we want to set that to equal string x string y. Then we're saying the current planet equals that. We're going to show debug message. Otherwise, if that first one does not equal 0, which it should do on the second run, it shouldn't actually hit that again. So the first one isn't that. Then we want to say else if string x plus string y equals planet. That should be right. Let's get rid of that else and just see if a normal if statement works. Because it might not. I don't know. It shouldn't affect that. That's really weird. It might be the ordering, I'm thinking. Because if you think about it, if you check that it's not got the same one first, yeah, that's probably. Right, we have got further then. Okay. So object world gen. Right, so we have actually got onto the next step there, which is Good, and we've also got that bit there, so that is working to that step now. But now we've got an issue because it hasn't got the object world gen in the actual room at the moment. So once again, we're going to have to make that global, and as a matter of fact, we're going to have to move this whole bit, and this is going to cause multiple issues. So just copy and paste and cut that into the create here. Okay. Now in this step we haven't got anything. We can delete that step event actually. I believe the only events we have to change will be in the left button. So if we go into that, we're going to change that, just get rid of it. So it's just going to be grid. In fact, it's going to be global.grid. So go back into the create event and change that to global.grid. Copy that. Global.grid. And now back into the world gen. You create planet. We're going to change that to global.grid. And that's going to be global.grid. Global.grid, global.grid, and then if we go into the read world, and that's going to be not that, that's going to be global.grid, global.grid. Basically, everywhere we've put grid is going to change to global.grid. Okay, now this should work. Fingers crossed. On my timer, I'm saying 22 minutes now. It's probably not quite that, but still, that's getting on some. So I'd rather get it finished in one video, but if it gets past half an hour, that's getting quite long. Fatal error. So object planets dot height not set before creating it. All right, we need to check what our height variable is set to here. Width height. So copy this, and we'll just paste that into the planets. Hang on a minute, what happened there? Okay. Now, fingers crossed this should work. I can't see any issues with it. If it doesn't work this time, if it's not a simple syntax error, then I'm going to have to go and end it on this one. I wouldn't like to, but unfortunately, sometimes you have to do that. Right, we've got a syntax error. Alright. Budget world. But you can see there it did get to the next stage, which is good. So somewhere in here we've screwed up, and I know where. So go into the create event of the object world gen, scroll right down to the bottom, and where it says if grid, that needs to be, oh no, not that, global dot grid. Okay, now we shouldn't have any syntax errors. This should all work, and if it does, I will be absolutely over the moon because we've been going at this for a very long time. But let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Fingers crossed, guys. No errors. And hang on a minute. No. Is it working? Is it not working? I can't actually tell. I don't think that is, guys. That looks to be different. But we have got a 4 there. We have got a 4, which means we are getting to the next stage of the code, the debug. The first one didn't get a thing, I believe. So just let's check what those errors mean, just so we end on a high note-ish. So we're back in the create event. We'll just see what these, oh not create, left button. So this error is saying whatever's stored in that thing there. So now we're on to the next stage, which is actually loading the world in. Somewhere within this read world, some things, well, not in the read world actually, in the actual world gen, something is going wrong. It's not loading it in quite as it should be. But anyway, guys, for the time being, that is going to be it. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like, subscribe, and I will definitely get this finished for the next video. It is getting very long. But anyway, guys, I'll talk to you in the next one.